You gave me an F for my hard work. I spent 2 hours on this test.
Take a look at your work.
All my work is correct. I'm tired of you.
So why'd you feel the need to touch your teacher?
Every single test that I've taken this quarter, she's failed me on. And I know it's not me. I know I study every night. I do the work, and she just fails every single thing that I do.
Well, unless you perform better on this next test we're gonna give you, we're kicking you out of this school.
Please, can I have a chance to show that I know the work? I can do this. I promise. It's the teacher. It's not me. It's not me.
The length of the hypotenuse of a 30, 60, 90 triangle is 4. Find the perimeter. Well, when you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the leg is S, the hypotenuse is 2S, and the other leg is S square root 3. Here, we know that this can substitute as 4, which would be 2S. If this is 2S, that means this would be 2. And then here, S square root 3, if 2 is S, this would be 2 square root 3. When you add them all together, you end up with 6 plus 2 square root 3.
Correct!
Alright, so here we're going to have to use some trigonometry. Whenever you do that, the special thing to remember is SOHCAHTOA, where S is sine of x is equal to the opposite leg over the hypotenuse, where cosine is cosine of x is equal to the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. And lastly, tangent is tan of x is equal to the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. Here, trying to find x, we're given one angle measure, which is 44 degrees. If you're looking at x, this is the opposite, so we're not going to be using sine or tangent. So here we're left with cosine. So the cosine of 44 is equal to x, the adjacent side, over 11, the hypotenuse. Whenever you draw this out, you end up with 11 cosine 44 is equal to x. So whenever you do 44 cosine times 11, x equals 7.9.
Correct!
You have a triangle with a side length of 8 as well as another side length of 6. Find the hypotenuse.
Well, when using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where a is a leg, b is a leg, and c is the hypotenuse. Here we're trying to find x, so you can plug in a here, 8 squared, plus b here, plus 6 squared equals x squared. Here, if you square 8, you get 64, plus 6 squared is 36, and those equal 100. Then you have to find the square root, and the square root of 100 is equal to 10. So here you have x equals 10.
Correct!
Find a and c using the laws of sine.
Okay, so the formula for the law of sines is sine of a over a equals sine of b over b equals sine of c cosine of A, which is sine 48 over A, which is undefined, is equal to the sine of B over 15. Once you do that, you cross multiply, and you end up with 15 sine 48 is equal to A sine 93. Once you solve, you end up with A equals 11.16. As you know that all the angles added up in a triangle equal 180 degrees, you can determine that x is equal to 39 degrees. Once you have that, you can do sine 39 over c is equal to sine of 93 over 15. Again, you're going to multiply across and end up with 15 sine 39 is equal to c sine 93. Once you simplify, you end up with c is equal to 9.4.
Correct!
Find B using the law of cosines.
Well, the formula to find b using the law of cosines is b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of b. Once you plug everything in, you end up with b squared equals 22 squared plus 10 squared, and then minus 2 times 22 times 10 cosine 44. Once you simplify all of this, you end up with b as equal to 16.36.
Correct!
Vector A equals -5, -2. Vector B equals 2, -5. Find the resultant.
Well, the formula for adding vectors is a plus c, or in this case b, is equal to x1 plus x2 comma y1 plus y2. So I'm going to go ahead and label the x's and label the y's. So x1 -5 plus 2 equals 3, -3. And then the y's, -2 plus -5, which would just be 5 minus 2, is equal to -7. So the resultant of the two vectors is -3, -7. Now we have angles of elevation and depression. And angle 1, if you're looking out from the mountain and it goes down, this is an angle of depression because the angle is falling here. So angle 1 equals C. Here you have angle 2, and it's looking up from the mountain. Therefore, it would be rising, making it an angle of elevation. Okay, next we have angle 3, which is looking down from the mountain to the base of the tree, therefore making it an angle of depression. So angle 3, depression. And lastly, angle 4, it's looking up from the tree to the mountain. So therefore, angle 4 equals elevation.
Correct! Good job!
So, Cecilia Johnson, we went over your test scores and you got 100. What? I got 100? So
So what does this mean for Mrs. Van Zandt?
We are kicking her out of the school.
After you.